Hi goddesses, and welcome to the blue section of the stash post. As you might be able to see already, quite a lot of blues, a lot more than the greens obviously, and what's quite interesting, sorry, I'm just going to start sorting as I'm talking to you. What's quite interesting about the blues is that blue is actually a colour I came to quite late in my polish life. I think I'd been seriously polish buying for easily a year before blue ever occurred to me. Until then, and we have a purple hiding in the blues. Until then, it wasn't really a colour that I'd ever thought that much of, that I ever really wanted that much to do with. And then I was in the Polishaholics anonymous group at the time, and there was a great lady in there called Yez. And she was like, oh my God, you're not got no blue polishes. You need to get into the blues. And so with her help, I did. And once I realised that blue matched my albino skin tone, it was very much never ever look back. So I started quite cautiously, but then, wow, I ran away with it, and I've never really stopped. And I do love blue polishes a lot. I like the variety, but one of the things I would say is I don't think blue polishes come in anywhere near the variety they should come in. So let me caveat that by saying, if you think, for example, of greens and the real breadth of greens that you can buy, and even me as a non-green lover would say that, blue doesn't really get the same treatment, and I don't know why. I don't know whether it's because it's restricted to the kind of base you can have for it. In the, I don't know, does it have to be a white rather than a yellowy base like you can get away with greens? But the variety is just not there. Now, I also find with my blues, I get far more dupage than I do with any other colour. So when I do de-duping Chandler, I get rid of far more blues than I do of any other colour, because, well, that very reason, there's just not a lot of originality out there. Okay, I have done some segregating so that we're ready to destash. A lot of it at the moment is off camera over here, but it will all become visible to you very, very shortly. So, going to start with the pale blues. So I'm just going to move a couple of others out the way so that we can kind of have a little bit of a lineup going on. Right, we've not quite got all of those in camera. There we go. Okay, so I have 4, 6, 8, 10 light blue polishes. Don't forget, this excludes the Barry M's, who are great at blue, Kiko, who are great at blue, the textures, the neons, not that you're going to get a neon pale blue, and the hollows, of which I do have a couple of pale blues, and all the untrieds. But these are the ones that are in the box, and they've made it through easily 2, if not 3 destashes. So these are kind of my tried and tested, but there are a few in here that I know I may not wear, so this could be tricky. Okay, I'm going to start over here with this Ickle bottle. Now, if you know what that is, you are a clever polishaholic. It's actually the small bottle of this Girly Bits Stormy Skies. I've started with it deliberately because this was the first indie polish that I ever bought, and I love it. It's just absolutely gorgeous on the nails. It absolutely is. There has been another polish that came close to it actually, and I can't remember what it was, and the other polish, which was by quite a well-known brand, got dumped because for me nothing comes close to Girly Bits Stormy Skies. I absolutely love it. Right, let's pick out this one. because I know this isn't a dupe of anything. So this is a nails ink polish. This one is Albert Place, and this is your classic sky blue. I tend to wear this in summer rather than winter. It has often been the background for fluffy clouds, but it's also quite a nice bright pale blue. As you can see, it is very sky coloured. It's darker than some of the others I've got over here, particularly these ones, but it's nowhere near as dark as China Glaze Secret Periwinkle, which is your classic mid blue. This one's a sentimental one. Model's Own. I'm quite torn on Model's Own polishes. I love the packaging. I love the colours that they do. Until they recently became free, I hated the smell. I don't like that they go on a bit like chalk, and it's hard to get them glossy, but I had to keep this one because this one's called Beth's Blue and my daughter's called Beth. Also, it's a really, really lovely shade of pale blue, nice and delicate, not too overpowering, so I use that quite a lot as well. Right, dupage. Right, so this one's not a dupe. You may recognise this one from earlier in the year. This is Rococo Nail Apparel, and this one is called Teacup, and this was the one that I'm convinced this is pale blue. Everybody that I worked with thought it was mint green, so it's Pint Breen, yes, or Male Grew, yes, that works, doesn't it? Lovely spoonerism. So this is very delicate. Unless I was doing a gradient or a ruffle, I probably wouldn't use this much in nail art, but it is lovely, very delicate. Okay, 2 Butter Londons. Now, my heart tells me that I do not need both of these polishes. This is the one actually that's a bit like Girly Bits. So this is Butter London Lady Muck. Or maybe it's another one that's quite similar, except the Butter London is a bit greyer and deeper in tone. And then we have on the left Victoriana, which is completely the fault of Sarah from Chalkboard Nails, and was one of the very first blues that I bought. Her fault totally. I love both of these, really gorgeous blues. Butter London, at one point I had more and I got rid of them because I love the shape of the bottles, and then what I don't like is you take the cap off and you get rid of that, and I don't like those. I also don't like these ridged caps. Cadillac do them and so do Elevation Polish, and I find they scuff my delicate skin on my fingers, so I don't like those. I also don't like that Butter London, although it's called Butter London, they're not very supportive of British bloggers. I think they do some lovely polishes, but for me, they don't stand themselves out from the crowd, so I don't have that many. Right, we then have, probably the final, these are getting close to dupes, but they're not. They absolutely are not. So, on the left, we have Cult Nails Manipulative. I bought a lot of Cult Nails polishes at one point. This is my favourite brand logo, by the way. I just love that lettering that Maria came up with. It's gorgeous. Absolutely love it. I do love her polishes, but when I get them, I either find they don't suit my skin tone or they're not that different from other polishes that I've got, so then I end up de-duping them. That said, the ones that I've kept, I absolutely adore, and Manipulative is one of them. We then have China Glaze Kinetic Candy, which, as you can see, is similar but a little paler, so we get away with that one. But I am going to leave that one to the side for some more comparisons in a minute. And then the final two in the pale ones are another China Glaze and a Zoya. I forgot I had that Zoya. In fact, I don't even know if I've worn it. So Zoya Kristen, and then China Glaze Sea Spray. They are very, very similar. I would say Sea Spray has a slightly murkier base, and Zoya looks a bit whiter. but they are both lovely, both very serene, calm, tranquil winter colours. China Glaze Sea Spray, it's just one of those polishes I think you have to have. Absolute classic. Right, so the reason I left that China Glaze out, which was Kinetic Candy, was so that you could compare it to this one, which is the famous for Audrey, and this one, which is Aquadelic. China Glaze, when I started, I bought a lot of China Glaze polishes, and I don't buy half as many anymore. And I think the main reason is that they've got a nasty habit of duping themselves. And every time they released a gorgeous summer collection or a gorgeous spring collection, I'd buy it, get it home, and find that I was doing this de-duping exercise, especially with the blues. Originally, I think I had 5 polishes in this shade, a bit like the Famel. They're similar photo. So Kinetic Candy, I think you can see, is definitely the palest one of those 3. We then have the famous for Audrey here and Aquadelic there. Aquadelic may be a fraction greener, but for most people they are so similar, it's not even worth splitting the hairs difference. Tad darker and the classic, choose which one you want. I actually think Aquadelic's a bit more vibrant. As you can see, Audrey, she's got a bit of a sloppy bottom these days, but hey ho. Still a good polish, still a classic polish. But yeah, they're quite close to being dupes. And I think a brand should never dupe itself. So that is a crime in my eyes. Right, let's do some medium blues then, shall we? So I'll just get these lined up. Probably put that one there as well. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Okay, so, oh dear. Right, so we have 3 polishes here. Oh, crap in a bucket. They are very, very similar. So China Glaze Secret Periwinkle, which is an all-time classic and should be a nail polish staple in every collection. Zoya Joe. I've tried to get rid of this one, but I can't. It is probably the first blue I lost my heart to. I actually wore it on my toes, which is quite rare because I can't reach them anymore. And also Joe, who I used to work with, who really got me into polish addiction. I kind of have a sentimental tag to that one. And then this is a Layla ceramic one. This has probably got a number rather than a name. Oh, FM21, that's catchy. But I do love these Layla polishes. The ceramic effects in particular are so glossy. Sorry, I feel like you're not getting good lighting there. Let's move you a little bit. But oh, there's a little bit of daylight, but not much. So I'm just going to leave the Layla there for a minute. Let's then look at these 3 shockingly similar / identical polishes. So we've got Sally Hansen Grey by Grey, Rimmel Stormy Skies, and Potionality Tomboy, which I reviewed very recently. Oh, they are 100% identical. They are. So Sally Hansen, you know my thoughts on these. I love how big and fat the brushes are. Some people will not like them for that very same reason, but for me they make them very easy to paint with. Rimmel, UK brand, used to be cheap as chips, now it isn't because they're paying Kate Moss all that money, and sometimes has ideas above its station, but that is a nice colour. Potionality, new brand, nice polish, and I did like it. However, I'm going to have to de-dupe at least one of them, because as you can see, there is no spitting distance between them at all. Right, so they're in a secret corner. Right then, we've then got a couple of turquoisey ones. First of all, OPI, can't find my checkbook. I always want to call this one Don't Forget Your Checkbook. I don't know why. And this is my favourite turquoise polish. I absolutely adore this. Beautiful. And then we have, and this is an example of how turquoises can lean very different, Fly from the OPI Nicki Minaj collection, which was my favourite turquoise till checkbook. But this one is a lot greener. So when you go looking for a turquoise polish, really bear that in mind. Some of them lean much more blue, even bluer than this actually. This is quite a pale blue, I think, for a turquoise. And some of them lean very much greener, like good old Fly. And then we have the daddy of all turquoises, which, sorry, it just needs a bit of a beating off camera. This is Sation. This is My Oceana. Yeah, Oh My Oceana. This is totally the fault of Chris from Let Them Have Polish. Never heard of this brand till she swatched them. She swatched this polish and it is just incredible. Let me try and shake it a little bit more, because that's not helping you see how pretty it is. I've worn this lots on the blog, both on its own as bases for stuff. It is just gorgeous. It's the perfect turquoise. It's shot through with shimmer. It is absolutely stunning. If you've never tried Sation, give it a whirl. I got mine off eBay, so even if you're in the UK, don't let that stop you. Right then, we now want to do the darker blues. Oh, I probably should have done that one earlier. Right, that one. That one. Oh, and we want that. Right, and just checking there's no stragglers. Okay, so all the other ones that are left now are glittery ones. So these are all my dark blues. They are various degrees of darkness. Some of them, as you can see, are a little bit brighter and not dark at all. So we'll do them in two halves. Let's just start there with this, the infamous Manglaze MILF. Beautiful polish, turquoise. Should have done it with the other ones. Stunning. Don't forget with Manglazes, although they are matte, if you put a gloss coat over them, a whole new level of beauty just reveals itself. Okie dokie. So in this corner we have Scalawag by Mentality, which is a nice soft blue hollow, very scattered, also stamps well, and that's the main reason that I've got that one. This is First Mate, one of the first China glazes that I bought. I've used this to death in nail art. It's not quite navy, but it's darker than royal blue. We then have another Mentality, who I think actually for blues do knock it out the park. This is Brute. If I compare it to Sailor, so Sailor is very much a navy polish. It's matte, as is Brute, but you can see that Brute is a couple of clicks lighter. Now, if you're not a super huge fan, you'll probably only buy one of them, but there is enough daylight that you can justify both of them if you need to. Sailor is a particular favourite and is just stunning. Also, these Mentalities are one coaters, so you can't go wrong really. We then have the stunning Zoya Song, just one of the most beautiful polishes ever created. Absolutely love it. Don't know why I've only worn it once, but let's gloss over that. Right, we then have the perfect navy corner. So navy polish, I've actually found quite difficult to find the perfect one. I've got a Moyo Nails stamping polish, which is also really good as a one coat navy, but the ones that I've ended up with are a Bondi one, and this one's called Midnight Mystery. That covers really well. Royal Navy by Butter London, which actually I'm going to get rid of now that I've got these other ones. And this is from last year's San Francisco collection, OPI Incognito in Sausalito. That's a really nice navy, and as you'd expect with OPI, great coverage too. You've then got a Manglaze. This is Royal Matrimony, somewhere between a royal blue and a navy. It's nice. I don't often wear it though. And then we have the only elevation that isn't in the elevation box. This is Pic de Saltillo, and this is in here because this is my replacement for Nails Inc. Baker Street. this is more vibrant. There's also a couple of Barry M's that are more vibrant than the Nails Ink one, and a couple of Kiko's, one of which is pretty much a dead-on dupe. So if you're wondering why I haven't got one of the most famous blues of all time in my stash, that's your reason. So a lot of love for that elevation. Right, let's get some of these little boys and girls out to play. Let's do the darker ones, and then I'll come back for the ones that are a bit more what I would call tealy, like that one. Right, nearly there. Oh no, that's a teal, isn't it? That one, and they're probably teals. Oh, Zeus. Okay, so these then are my glittery blues. As you know, fallen out with glitter, don't use it that much anymore, but these are too beautiful to do away with, so these kept. So first of all, Zeus by Whimsical Ideas by Pam, just one of those utterly perfect polishes. This is now at least 2 years old. No separation, no bleeding, no curling. That is what you call a quality indie. It's also one of those polishes that, oh my god, does the name match the bottle. Love that. W7, Cheapest Chips UK brand, makes really good stuff. This was their slightly textured polish. This is Mosaic, really nice blue with little bits of stuff in it. We've then got a literary lacquers. Let me just shake that up. So this is a lovely soft pale blue with an edge of lavender to it, and it's got some pink glitters in it and some darker glitters. Lovely polish. This one's called Woman of Pleasure. I like this. It's quite different actually to a lot of Amy's other polishes. Really lovely, very spring-like, very nice polish. We've then got 3 ninjas. So we have, oh no, that's not a ninja, sorry. So we have Eye Candy and Sexy and I Know It, both of which are just amazing shimmer fests.